Hey guys, welcome. I'm laughing right now, and I'll tell you why in a second. Welcome back to the Calling the Forgotten Files. This just happens to be our 16th episode, if I did the math right, on the 16th today, and so that's kind of cool. My name is Shannon. I am one of your hosts of the Calling the Forgotten Files, and we also have Jennifer Lee. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello, Shannon.
I'm really I'm laughing because we just did 6 minutes of a show that was not live. So we had this, and it was really good.
Okay, we're going to blame that on the news that you got right before.
Yes. Yes. About 2 minutes before we thought we were live, my son messaged me because his girlfriend they're inducing her tonight, starting the process. So it's tonight or in the morning, I'm going to have a granddaughter. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. So yeah, we were doing a whole show and didn't know we were not live. So I apologize for us being about 6 or 7 minutes late, guys.
So with that, we should probably just bring our guest right on, right?
Yeah, since we already did the conversation.
I know.
Okay, so our guest tonight is someone very dear to me. She has a special place in my heart. She has played a big role in who I am as a person and who I've become as far as spiritually. She's the first person that was kind of there and like, hey, this is what's going on, and took me under her wing. And her name is Lisa Camerlo, and I just absolutely adore her. And we've had a lot of fun together. So let me bring her on.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa, again.
Nailed it, though. Nailed it now.
That is too funny. If Jen didn't say anything, we could have went the whole hour, but then we would have noticed there's no comments going on.
Good catch, Jen. Good catch.
She's the bestest. So, Lisa, tell us a little bit about yourself for those guys that haven't heard me talk about you already.
Well, I like to start off by saying I'm a little different. I struggle with titles, and so over the years I've carried many different titles, and so the one I'm sitting with right now is psychic medium guru. I just threw guru in tonight. It just came at me.
I love it.
I am eclectic. I practice many different practices under a large umbrella of hello, friends. A large umbrella of many different, basically Mediterranean mutt European religious practices.
Mutt.
My people, we're all travelers. I come from movers, movers and shakers. And so we've picked up over centuries, we've picked up many different spiritual practices. And I have taken all of those that have been given to me in this physical world, as well as downloads from many different ancestors. And so I'm very eclectic. You put on the thingy there, intuitive palmistry. That's my favorite title, because if you come to me for a palm reading, you're getting a mini education. You're getting a little education. You're getting a little hand rub. We might be getting some mediumship. We might get company. You're learning all about yourself, and you're getting insight into what's coming in, because everything you're ever going to do is already laid out in your hand.
I am so intrigued by that. I went to last week. I had my very first palm reading, and I wasn't sure what to expect because I've never had one. It's nothing that I've ever studied.
Yeah.
And it was an hour-long session, and it was amazing. And I was kind of obsessed with it, like, staring at my hand for days afterwards.
Yeah.
We still do because of her.
Yeah, yes. Just like amazed at what you can see in there. And I also didn't realize that the lines change.
Yes.
Some of them that can change depending on the circumstances. So I found that absolutely fascinating. How did you get started in that?
So I started working the fair circuit, and everybody reads tarot. Everybody. You go to those metaphysical fairs or holistic fairs, and there's 50 to 200 tarot readers. And because I'm eclectic and a Taurus, I like to be seen, and I want to be. I want to stand out, right? So I did some meditations, and because palmistry is something that's very highly regarded in my culture, we're European gypsies. I'm trying to get away from the gypsy word, but I mean, it is, I'm not using it in an offensive way.
Right.
I'm describing my culture, right? So anyway, but I'm working on that. But as you can see, I'm struggling. But it's something that my people and my family specifically have done for centuries. So it felt very natural to dive into it. And when I started doing some research, it came so easy. It was like, oh, I know this. So once I got the basics, I'm actually in the process of writing a book. It's kind of a cliff notes to divination. And a big part of that, the whole book started with teaching palmistry and how I was able to retain it, because it's a lot, Jen.
Oh.
Like you said, I mean, it's an onion.
Absolutely. When she did that reading, like I said, I didn't know what to expect, and I was just in disbelief at how like detailed she was, and and all of. Anyway, it was super cool. So I love that. Now, can you do that like remotely, like from a picture of a hand, or do you prefer to have that person like right in front of you?
I prefer to do that one in person. It can be done online. Like people have sent me pictures and things like that, but the camera takes away from the intimacy of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I can be very scientific in an online palm reading, but you're going to lose some intimacy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I'm responding to a Facebook user. It says, I need a session with Lisa. I'm badly in need of closure. So, and I was just messaging like, we can connect after the show so you can get in contact with Lisa and y'all can set up a session together.
Sure. We can post my website too, if you like. That way they get a direct link to me.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Facebook user.
What is your website? Oh, that's Molly. I love Molly. Oh, that's another girl.
It is ravenreadingsbylisa.com.
I knew that.
So you were talking about divination. So what other forms of divination do you do?
I do bone casting. I read all different types of cards.
Bless you. Goodness, bless you.
Ooh. Wrong pipe. It's that time of year for that dry Colorado cough.
Yeah.
I am a medium, so sometimes sessions are just a session of Q&A, back and forth questions until their people show up. Usually, if I'm doing a reading on somebody, I know ahead of time the type of reading that's going to happen, right?
Right.
Whether it's going to be mediumship, because if it's mediumship, usually their people pop into me before I connect with them because they're so excited, or there's
Right.
a lot of emotion wrapped up in it.
Right. And they know.
And so I'm prepared ahead of time. And if they don't bring it up, my favorite thing to do is say, did you wish to bring somebody in here? Did you bring a friend?
Because they've been here all day.
Because they've been with me maybe for multiple days sometimes.
I understand that. I was just telling Shannon, I I have a reading right after we're done here, right? So you're seeing me over here with my pen because I'm just scribbling. I just feel the energy and I'm just scribbling.
Right.
Saying, just wait.
Yep. It's ahead of time. It's I know you're there.
You're there and you're on the computer. Is it my turn?
Right.
Well, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Right before I left Colorado, I think was it 2014 or 2015, you had made some very unique runes, and you on like tree seeds. Was it tree seeds? Do you still have those?
I do.
They are so awesome.
Do. And they travel with me sometimes. So I carry a box, an old suitcase, a little mini suitcase that I painted, and I personalized it, and it's got it's my magic box. It's my witchy box. It's my gypsy box. It's got all the stuff in there, right? And so sometimes they travel with me, sometimes they don't. But ruins is one of the things I do. And I love that set. And I encourage people to find something in nature. Mm-hmm. If you're drawn to a specific culture or a specific type of divination, find something in nature. Last week, I did a wand making class. I brought in all my goodies. I got a thing full of sticks.
Oh, bless your heart. I can hear your congestion in there. You're good. Don't worry, girl, because I was there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I brought in a big thing of sticks, and everybody made a wand. And when you do that type of stuff in a small group, it's interesting because you go in there with a mindset of, oh, I'm going to make a fairy wand, or I'm going to make this type of wand. But when you get going and you connect with the nature, with the objects.
Oh, bless her heart.
Dang it. We were both there. I still have a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It does what it wants.
Yeah.
Goodness sakes.
I used to love going to those meetups with you and the fairs with you. Those meetups, though, when we just sit in a circle and just everybody would bring something different every time and to the group. How eclectic. I mean, you really learn different things from different people. And I really wish I could find something like that here. I mean, I'm sure it's there. I just haven't been connected the right way, I guess. Not like with my Lisa.
Oh, you just got to create it. You know, you got to find your niche of people. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And now in Texas, they're a little more hidden, but they're there. They're there. I was actually thinking about, there's a gypsy market show, something in Southern Texas that I was looking at possibly booking this summer. You heard me, girl.
I'm like, I
got a layover. I got a layover in Dallas on Tuesday.
This Tuesday?
Yeah.
What time?
I don't know. I got to look at my papers. We're going to Cancun.
Yay. Oh, yeah. I love this. I love seeing all this with your life, your personal life. You know I do. I am so happy to see that. Y'all can't tell. I kind of love this woman. She was like my first big support in anything. So, oh, yes, Brian, you're right. You can manifest anything, and I'm a believer in that as well.
I think, Shannon, the biggest thing I remember telling you over and over and over again is, girl, you're not crazy. This is real. You're not crazy. This is real. And then remember sitting at my sitting at my table doing weird stuff with like the pendulums and
she showed me everything.
The bowl. I'm just
she showed me everything, the beginning of everything. So
much fun.
I have so much respect for you. And we had a lot of fun, like the sweat lodge.
Yeah.
Afraid to ask about
the
that.
time you got to hang out in a stranger's house for hours.
Yeah, we're talking about personal stories. Like, what are they talking about? Okay, so we went to a sweat lodge. You have to be invited, a Native American sweat lodge, and Lisa invited, brought me along. And I was so excited. I was so excited. Lisa was excited. Like we were getting ready, and the beginning of the ceremony was amazing. And we all get inside that, the teepee tent thing,
Right.
and they got the coals coming in, and then they started talking like, you don't cross ceremonies. Then they start talking about being in your moon, which means your cycle. And I knew she was talking to me, and like, it's not good to cross those ceremonies. I'm like, she knows. And I had to like crawl out like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know this. And I'm like, pardon me. And I'm crawling around these coals and people's knees to get out. I'm like, I'm sorry. Excuse me. So I had to go and like stay at this house of people I didn't know that were in the lodge. Like, then they kept it far away because they don't want to be that close to the ceremony. And I'm just sitting there like, and Lisa had the best time ever. And I was so happy for her, but I was so envious as well. I wanted to be part of it. So she calls me her moon sister.
Oh my gosh.
I would love to be able to do that one day. I'd like to experience that as well.
Yes.
It was a beautiful experience. And it started as a sisterhood, and then it became awkward for both of us when we had to separate.
I know.
And so, Shannon's in the house eating a Subway sandwich, and I'm nibbling on buffalo meat with my fingers, cold buffalo meat.
I remember looking at her going, I think I need to go. I think she's talking to me.
And I'm going, did you start, or are you just about to start?
It didn't matter.
How much?
She knew. It was so funny.
It's not fair for you to draw all the power.
I know. That's why I was like, I got to go. So, you're right. Oh, man, we can chit chat about all that stuff online. It's so funny. Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, it's just some good times. So, I mean, since I left Colorado, you've gone through so much growth and changes and beauty. Like, I love seeing you right. Like, you look so happy. You're glowing right now. And I love seeing that.
Well, that's that fluorescent light I have angled over there. Well, but thank you. Seriously. I am living my best me. I am living the dream, I think at different times, especially when you're an intuitive, things about your life, you're given little snippets. And then when you reach that, when that comes into fruition and you land there, it's like,
wow.
Yeah.
And I landed, and I'm there. I'm here. If I can just I'm teaching. I'm doing a lot more teaching, which is nice. I'm gearing up for festival season. I'm trying to do workshops every month. I'm working on this book. But I'm also doing a lot of personal stuff every day. It's healing and releasing. I've got a retreat coming up the first weekend in March. So I've been working on the itinerary and what me and these 5 ladies are going to do for 3 days in the mountains of Colorado.
Oh, horrible. You mean 6 ladies, right? 6 ladies?
I got one more spot. If you want to come up, Shannon.
Oh, man.
Westcliff. I'm going to Westcliff, dude.
Oh, man. My job.
Yeah.
I know I can manifest it, but if to manifest being off for 5 days would mean I would. When is it? What month? Hold up.
You could fly in Friday and you could leave Sunday.
Okay, March
3rd, 3, 4, and 5.
Next month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The first weekend. It's like in 2 weeks.
We'll talk after the show.
That's coming right up.
Yeah.
We'll talk after the show. So, Lisa, this is a question I don't think we talked a little bit on. I don't know too much about, and I think it would be interesting to ask. So you came from a long ancestral line of abilities and just different uniqueness. What was it like as a child? What was your household like? Did your mother... did your parents practice, your grandmother? Like, what was your life as a child and your Exposure.
Excellent question. I'm giggling because I'm like, oh. So my mother is paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. But before that kicked in, it didn't kick in on her until her early 20s. Before 25. By 25, she was pretty much rolling pretty
Oh.
hard. But I had her for 5 years. And those memories are fantastic. I have diaries of hers where she did my numerology with my name. And the scribbles and stuff in there are fascinating. She's very, very devout Catholic, which is how I was raised. I'm in recovery now. I'm just kidding. I know. I probably shouldn't say that, but
no, you just find humor, and I love your humor.
It is it's my go-to. Like if I'm doing a cleansing, those are the prayers I use. If I'm doing a blessing, those are, I utilize the Psalms. They work. I'm familiar. I have most of them memorized because, which is the recovery part, but just anyway. That's where I was raised. So my memories of interaction with this kind of stuff are really kind of sweet. I spent a lot of time with my great grandmother, who was right off the boat from Italy. And she was about 4'7", 4'8", teeny tiny people. And so she had a ladder in every room. There's a little step ladder stool thingy that kind of pulled out. That they were real popular in the 70s.
Yeah, the ones, yeah.
And so she would have coffee and tea with people, with the neighbors. The little ladies would come in and out, and I would sit there, and that's what she would do. Sometimes they would play cards. And so there was always a deck of cards in the kitchen on the table. Most of the time, the cards didn't have, the numbers weren't really, they were picture cards. They weren't number cards. And so I was really little, and so I would play with them all the time, and I'd lay them out in an arrangement, and she'd tell me what they meant. And so she also would drink coffee, Turkish coffee, Mediterranean coffee, because the Greeks drink it, the Italians drink it. Anyway, so in the little tiny demi-glace, and it's real muddy. And so she would do coffee and tea readings with people. And then my aunties, I had a couple aunties that would they'd give me objects, and they'd say, like, they'd give me, their favorite thing to do was give me a rock, right? Here, Lisa, tell me the story of the rock. Well, I would just, like, stuff would just come flying out of my mouth. And I just thought I had a great imagination, because I do.
I know.
I wasn't making it up. I was telling real things. So it went from things like the rock to things like a watch, or grandpa's glasses.
Right.
And it became, they were clever. They were clever little aunties. And so I was introduced to all of this stuff real young, and then I was separated from my family. And then I didn't have any of this stuff. Then I just became the weird girl. And I didn't really fit in anywhere. So that's when I became kind of eccentric, with my clothes. I'm pretty mild right now, but I did have on a fur vest. A fuzzy fur vest earlier. My pants are a little too short, and my boots are a little too tall.
I love that.
I'm telling you guys, Lisa is worth getting to know.
So I'm pretty eclectic, and so that's kind of where I landed. I'm artistic. I played band in high school. I was a cheerleader. I used to call myself the preppy pothead. Because I got along with everybody. Like the jocks would come to me for weed. I was a cheerleader, so I was in with them. I was in band, so I was in with them. I got along with everybody. I kind of became this sort of great pretender in my eyes. I moved around a lot. And then I landed here in Colorado after college, met my late husband, and had 4 beautiful kids. During the time I was raising my kids, I was the mom that I became known in our community as Mama Lisa.
Aw.
Yeah, I can see that. I know that.
Yeah, and so the kids would call me Mama Lisa. Their parents would call me, I was Mama Lisa. And people would come to me and we would have these little sessions. I never used cards or anything. I was just kind of like the counseling session, like mommy venting time or whatever. But it was always a little bit more spiritual than just venting sessions. You know what I mean? So as my kids got older, I had more time on my hands. And so my gifts got louder again. And I started finding myself in interesting community situations, and meeting people. And like Shannon, I met Shannon at a dispensary that my daughter worked at.
I was a compliance officer there. Like, you can't catch me smoking weed. I'll get bugged.
No, she never did. No.
Nothing against it. It's just ain't my thing.
No, but that's where I met you.
Yeah.
And my daughter worked at her store. And so that was cool. And we became friends. And in fact, I think Allie gave you my card and then I came in.
Allie came on later. I'd met you before that. I wasn't there very long, and you would just come through and you just kind of look at me and go,
did I just slip you my card? Because I used to do that too.
One of that slick, you just look at me and go, if you ever want to talk.
I see you.
Yeah, and you saw me like just trying to, because I had just read The Law of Attraction. I was just new to like understanding energy, but I still wasn't getting any kind of full picture. And man, you've shown me so many different things, potential everything, and you taught me to trust myself more than anything.
Thank you.
No, for real, you really did, and like to believe into that. And it's anytime I start to like question or anything like that, I do oftentimes go back and go, just go back to the fundamentals, the basics. The situations like, oh my gosh, in our past life regression therapy class that we went to learn how to do that. I mean, my chest I was in an armchair. My arm
I was right next to you. We sat right next to each other.
My chest was way up here and the rest of my body was dangling. I was pretty much off the chair. Like, it was so intense, the stuff we went through. Like, we did a lot of stuff together. Like, and I learned so much with you, so I'll never forget that. But we got to do a lot more stuff together. So yeah, I'm going to see you on the beginning of the month. It's like,
I hope so. It'd be awesome. I'd love to have you there. My gosh.
I would love it.
That'd be cool.
Oh, so what? I mean, you're about to hit the fair circuit and everything.
I'm about to hit the fair circuit. This winter time I do some small indoor events, but when winter time, January, February, March-ish, I usually do small indoor kind of holistic type pagan events. I just worked an Imbolc ceremony the first weekend in February. That was fun. It was about embracing the fire, and if you celebrate pagan holidays, then you know what Imbolc is. If you don't, look it up. It's a beautiful ceremony.
Yeah, you cover a lot of different variety of just beliefs. Like I said, you're very, like you said, eclectic. That is the best way to describe you, as eclectic.
Thank you. I've been, because of my wide range of practices, I've been invited to be a keynote speaker at Colorado College for the history department. I did that for a couple years in a row. Spoke to 3 different history classes for a couple of days regarding occult practices. And over big span of time. So that was a lot of fun. And I got a lot of connections from that experience.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Y'all can talk. Sorry. 1 second.
I bet it has something to do with what happened earlier, huh,
I'm
Jen?
sure it does. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Little man, Liam.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So you got to speak at the college, correct?
Yes.
I bet that was amazing.
That was really neat because the college actually reached out to, here in Colorado Springs, we have a metaphysical store that's been around since the 70s. And they have a really beautiful reputation. And because they've been around for so long, the college was looking for somebody reputable to be a speaker on occult practices in history. Right.
Right.
And so when they called the store, I was very honored, actually, because they keep a reader every day. There's a schedule, it's a rotating thing. I've been there for years, though. So he picked me out of all of the readers they have. So I was quite honored and nervous. The pressure.
Absolutely.
What if it doesn't work, Jen? What if it doesn't work one day?
I get it. I get it.
It's never failed.
That
But
whole
what
faith,
if it does?
right? Yes. That faith and that trust right there.
Right there. Right there.
So you're in Colorado Springs, right?
Yes.
I will have to, I'm not super far from there. I do go up that direction. So next time I head up that way, I'm going to let you know because
You better.
You
I
should.
would love to see that store.
Oh, where are you? Where are you, Jen?
I'm in Utah, so I'm just in the northeastern corner. So you know where Dinosaur is? Like I'm right over the border from Dinosaur, Rangeley, like right in that area.
Okay.
So not overly far.
We've got friends in Delta.
Okay. Yeah. And I go up that direction. I go to Grand Junction a lot, which is still a ways from where you are, but
No, but I'm going to work. I'm looking at working some events down in Grand Junction.
Well,
I will let you know.
Please do, because that's not far at all. And I love to head up that way.
Yes.
Let me know.
Okay, same. That would be fantastic. And I have a spare room. You're more than welcome to stay with us.
Don't say that because
I'm saying it. I'm saying
careful
it.
what you ask for.
No, we're gonna have to synchronize swatches. I'm inviting my ass.
If it's less than a day's drive and I need a break, I'll be there. I promise.
Just give me a call. Give me
You
a
would not
call.
regret it. I'm telling you, you're guaranteed
I'm
to
gonna
have
have to do
this eclectic, unique spiritual experience.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna have to put that on my little list.
Yep, put it on the list. That's what we say. Get
I'm
it
so-
on there.
Now, I know we had some scheduling issues, in the beginning because of switching stuff around. And I was like, oh, I felt so bad. I'd like move you and Stephanie around. And then last week, Cox was supposed to be on, but then I had my corporate trip and there's just no way with when we do those, there was no way. So I had to reschedule her. I was like, oh my gosh. So I love you ladies so much. You're so awesome.
Well, just remember, don't ever worry about me. I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to chat with you. It works.
Yeah. But I mean, you can always move me around because I can probably almost always make it work. And I'm getting better at this tech thing. I connected with a platform out of Australia called Realm for Spiritual Advisors. And if you guys are interested in being a spiritual advisor on this platform, let me know later and I'll send you the link. But there's a 15-hour time difference between
Right.
Western Australia, and Colorado. So I've had some challenges getting my buttons to work. So, but that's exciting. So I'm excited for that to happen when I get it, when I put the time into it. I haven't really put a whole lot of time into it, mostly because of that 15-hour time difference.
Yeah.
I have to do math every time.
And anyone who's
Yeah.
just coming in or didn't catch the first few minutes of the show, we're talking about tech difficulties. We did a show for 6 minutes and we weren't even live.
I'm not the only one.
We had to start over again. And we're just like, yeah, we're not repeating all that. Hey, let's bring the guests on.
It happens.
Right. Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh, it's too funny. Look
It
at
happens.
Scotty. Scotty's awesome. Everybody say hi to Scotty. Thank you for sharing that, Scotty. He's a sweetheart. So how are the kids? Like, what's going on?
Tony's going to graduate in a few months. Lexi's got the 2 babies. Allie just bought a car.
Uh-huh.
And Nick is doing well.
That's good. Everybody's so grown up now.
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens.
Yeah.
Add water and feed them, and they grow.
And it doesn't take very long, does it? Oh my gosh. So
No.
when you think about like 18, 20 years, you feel like it's going to be forever. And it's just not
It's not.
really long at all.
No, I look at my daughter with my 2 grandbabies, and I'm just, every day is different. I do a lot of FaceTiming with, even though she's only in Pueblo, so she's 40 minutes from door to door. But I still don't get down there a whole lot. You know, I try to get down there at least once a week, but sometimes weeks get busy. You know, so but I was doing FaceTime and I was like, oh my gosh, Ezio, you're taller. And he looks down and I said, yes, your legs look longer. And he says, yes, yeah. And he told me happy birthday on Valentine's Day. It was the cutest thing. Happy birthday, yeah, bye. And he hung up the phone. I looked at John, and so I'm Yaya, and John is Nano. And I looked at John, and I go, Nano, happy birthday. This is the cutest thing.
Oh, Scott. We make fun of Scott because he's not taller.
I want to be taller too, Scott. I guess we're just stuck with it, right?
Gravity likes me, so it keeps me close.
You're a good height. You what, 5'6", 5'7", Lisa?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 5'3".
No way. Okay, maybe it was those boots, but this pants too short.
It was the boots.
I wear boots. I used to wear clogs. I used to wear Danskos a lot. I have a nice big hunky heel.
I don't remember you being shorter than me. Well, that ain't by much, so I can tell you that much. I'm 5'5.5".
Yeah, I'm short, but I appear taller.
You do. And your stature's good.
It's my aura.
By the way, Tiffany, hi. Tiffany is watching. Tiffany's one of the original OGs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember we talked before, and when I first started because I did the metaphysical thing way before anything paranormal. When I was paranormal, I was like, oh, look, bright light. I was really excited and everything, but I remember you were wanting to kind of start getting into doing that, but differently.
Me?
Because
Yeah.
a lot of times you were brought in to fix things that investigators were doing wrong. Do you want to touch on that for a second?
Yeah, I don't have my opinion on ghost hunters, not paranormal investigators. There's a difference. There's the hunters and then there's the investigators. And I find that a lot of times they're very, I'm 5'1", but I'm yes, Scott, I'm with you there. He squirreled, hijacked me. But I find that a lot of times in those, especially groups, they're inexperienced and they're young practitioners. And what I believe, there's some people who just don't understand that when you are dealing with personal challenges, heavy energy will feed off of that. And so you all of a sudden become a target. And then you go along and you do this event with these people, and then you go home and you bring some of this home with you. And then your world starts rocking and rolling and you don't know why. And then somebody puts you in contact with me. And during a session, we're talking. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, well, I went on this. And Shannon, you were kind of like this. You went somewhere and you got scratched. You had marks on your neck or something.
Only a few times in the beginning.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then, you know, they talked to me. And so then I go in and I look at the energy and remove the energy or talk to it, whatever. I do what I do. So my opinions are usually of the fixer, right? So I kind of stay away from that. So my thoughts when I created Third Eye Communications, which I don't really do much with,
right,
is I go to some of the local hotspots and I just go in and I bring pendulums and I bring jars with pendulums in it, or I'll bring a spirit board, or I'll bring all of them. And then I just set them up places and then we just talk to it. Or we just acknowledge that, ooh, this room feels this way. It's mostly, when I do that kind of stuff, it's mostly to bring young intuitives with me and to get them in an environment that is safe and where they can feel and see what it's like to walk into a room that there is heavy energy or there's light energy or it's scary or whatever it is. It's mostly, I do that mostly as just teaching, because it's important that you guys do what you do, but it's also important that you do it in a safe way, not just for you, but for the energies that are there, you know? And it's just, Hollywood has just really manipulated it into a false perception. And I think people that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, we just had that conversation, didn't we, Shannon?
Yeah, we did. And you know what's so funny is that time at the pool out at the lake house, I was standing on the ledge of the pool, and I went all of a sudden, and I felt a gunshot wound in the back of my head, and I went there. I experienced every emotion that went on, and Lisa was like worried about me, but she hadn't seen me in a long time, and that was the first time really I was able to experience something like that and pull right back out of. And I did. I mean, I full-fledged. I mean, I saw myself laying there in a drain watching blood go down. Couldn't find out the guy got shot in the back of the head on the boat ramp, not a few hundred feet from us.
Right there, yeah.
But I saw it as going down the drain, but it went down the boat ramp. And Lisa was like worried about me, and I'm like, I'm okay. And I was okay. I was able to pull out of it. And Lisa was like, I'm proud of you. I'm like, me too. Shit.
See, and sometimes, and that was a great example. And I was thinking about that weekend. That was a weird weekend too. They usually are. But I was thinking about that because I was the one, you guys were very curious and like, ooh, ah. And I was the one in the background going, hey, this doesn't feel right. This is heavy. This is this. Do you see that? Do you look at this? Remember the big tree in the front?
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy creepy. And then the lights that were flickering on the inside, that movement, those shadows or whatever it was.
Yep. Did an investigation there later, and they were skilled investigators, seasoned investigators going out to get their guns out of their truck and come in and locking the doors like that was going to help. That's the fear level that was there. But I'll tell you what, I spent about 4 or 5 hours one night with another woman that was on my team at the time, and Anita, and we put some intent. We walked through, and the place has been very light ever since. And I've been back many times. I actually stayed the night there. It's a full Airbnb now. It is beautiful.
Nice. It
No,
had
it's
such
gorgeous now.
potential.
Oh, it does.
God,
They
it
did
had
it
such
right. It is
potential.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'll show you some pictures. But I'm
Okay.
able to go there and sleep by myself there at night now.
Mm,
And so like it was just a really crazy location. There was a lot going on there. But just to
mhm.
stand there and then
We
all
were
of
there on a full moon too, remember?
yep. And I didn't know anything about the guy getting shot in the back of the head or anything. I was just all of a sudden like my eyes got big, like huge, and I felt it, and my head was tender for like a couple weeks. And then it took the owner of the property, what, 6 weeks, 7, 8, a few months to tell me. She was like, "Well, I didn't want to say anything because I thought you might have heard it on the news. We just went over to go swimming." She goes, a drug deal went bad, and the guy got shot in the back of the head. He didn't die. I never felt the guy dying. I just saw blood draining down. He was watching his own blood. So to hear that, like, Lisa, like, guess what's funny?
Right.
But I
Well,
picked up on it. It was crazy.
that was such a powerful weekend because I remember sitting out on that patio with you when the moon was right there doing a thing. And that beam of light, that was some crazy energy that night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Jeff, sweetheart, we see you, honey. I'm trying to put all your comments up here and everything. We were just lost in conversation. Jeff wants to know if you've ever heard of the Bel Air house.
Yes. In Ohio?
I believe so, because he said he was the groundskeeper.
I'm from Ohio. Yeah,
Yes.
in Ohio.
Oh, yes, in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
And then Morningstar says she used to leave marks. Now it's just boring with the scratches. Or at least, yeah. No, I just learned to put boundaries down better than before. Thank you for everybody that's interacting and sharing. I appreciate it. And it's much, much appreciated. And guys, if you have any questions for Lisa or Jen or I, just especially Lisa, put them in the comments. We'll get to them. If we're caught in conversation, just give us a moment and we'll get to it. Okay. If we don't show it, we'll definitely speak about it. Okay. So, man, I'm about to be a grandmother for the second time. I'm still tripping out. Anybody just joined 2 minutes before we started the show the first time. I got the message that they were inducing my son's girlfriend tonight. So I'm just like, I'm a little anxious. So,
and you're close by, right? So you'll be able to go.
yes, he was messaging me. I'm going to have to get him. He's not able to get there right now. So I'm going to get him a lift ride there so he can get to the hospital. He's not able to get to the hospital. So I'm going to get him there. And I was like, give me 7 o'clock. I'll get you there. So I'm going to wait. I don't want to be that like, oh, I've been there because it's like my baby is having a baby. So I'm just like, I'm going to be like that not extra, but just crying. And I know it's a theme. It's going to be a little girl. And her name is going to be Aspen, Joe.
Aww.
So I'm just really excited. Like I said, even my daughter told my son one time when he was being a turd in his teens, like, do you know your mom's favorites? I'm like, I don't have favorites, but Mason, and Lisa has a special place in my heart. And
oh, thank you.
To have your baby. I'm trying to read the comments. Hold on. Congratulations. Thank you guys. And then
no, I have 4 kids and if you ask any of them, they'll tell you that Allie's my favorite. I've never told them that. I tell each one of them that they're my favorite. Right. But now in their eyes, Allie's the one that I connect with the easiest. Like we've always connected super easy. Because your mini me isn't necessarily the one you get along with the best.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 girls and 2 boys.
Courtney, are you in here? I'm sorry, Lisa.
I'm taking care of them. I know what you're seeing. I'm trying to.
We got a spammer. We need to get blocked from here.
We've had a couple. So
Miss Bellini, Rena, you're cool and all, but bye-bye.
Oh, I hate that. I get on and I do live sometimes and people will message my people and say, click here for a reading, click here for a reading, click here for a reading, and you got to block them out of the rooms and stuff. Yeah, I'm not that clever.
I've blocked a couple of them tonight. It's kind of interesting. We usually don't have them on here.
And then Joe, 56 and have no kids. Sometimes I regret it. Well, I'm almost 45 and I've never been married, so we're in a club, right? I've had a hand fasting in Scotland. It was a traditional wedding, but it wasn't legal, and I kind of count that. But yeah, don't worry about all that. I bet you're a great uncle, or yeah.
Joe, it feels like you're just a great person, and I see a fur baby in there.
Yeah.
There's a fur baby there.
Mm-hmm. Fur babies are the best.
No, Scott, I've never been married, and that's okay. I was considered married. We did a hand fasting in Scotland, up close to Inverness at the Stuart Castle, and that was good enough. We didn't, thank goodness we didn't have to go through the divorce. So
Right.
it was fine. It was fine.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, good guy. Just sometimes people you just don't line up.
It's wrong time.
Yeah, we had a good connection, and I don't have anything bad to say about him.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. Not at all. It was a very intricate part of my life. I would have met you if that wasn't for him as well.
Right.
The one who gave me the book Law of Attraction. It was just like
Mm-hmm.
things and people and places are put in your path for a reason.
And you did all of that fun stuff in Scotland because of him.
Oh no, honey! I paid half the trip.
Well, I know, but you wouldn't have gone to Scotland if you hadn't.
No, exactly. No, exactly. I
met
wouldn't have met Jen and Dave, the other couple that went with us, or anything.
Mhm.
And I'm going back in October for 8 days for Halloween. I'm going to be in Sterling where they do the beheadings on Halloween. Sorry, I'm excited.
God, Jen, how do you feel about that as a medium?
About
Where she's going
One
for
of the beheadings in Sterling where they did the beheadings and the witch trials. It's going to be intense. That's why I want to.
Yeah. It's going to be. I think it's going to be amazing for you, actually.
I think it'll be amazing for Shannon. I just got no desire to go and do that myself.
No, I don't either.
Well, you have to understand the last time I went is when that thing that happened to me is literally when I started seeing apparitions. I started getting smelling things, like everything. That's one thing. And I know in my heart of hearts and my soul of souls, they shown me what happened to them and they passed that to me. I'm going back because I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. I'm going back as a pilgrimage.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing for you.
Pilgrimage. How do you say that?
Pilgrimage.
I can say it any other time.
I know. And now
Pilgrimage.
I know. Why was that so hard? I've said it a million times. But I'm going back and I'm going to go on the same ground and be like, thank you so much. I'm an open vessel. What do you need me to know? What show me, like, if there's more that you can pass to me, I am open, respectively though, with boundaries, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I told my mom like a month and a half ago, I was like, I want to go back. I'm going to go back. And I found just the most amazing package that I could pay off between now and September. It's like $1,275 for an amazing like apartment there for 8 days and air flight. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, are you still with that travel company?
Yeah, it's through them. So my ex is actually going, we're friends, but he's going to be my plus one because I needed someone to go with me. So he's going. And
which one?
No, he's no. Not the bad one.
Okay, I got scared.
No, honey, no.
I got scared.
No.
No. Do I look happy? Because I ain't fucking with that shit. Sorry. I know I'm cussing a lot right now, but no. I'm happy because I learned a big lesson through that. I learned a big lesson. That's why I'm happy. Nice. So no. Remember, you always taught me you need to separate and learn when to love with your heart or when to use your heart and when to use your head. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know the difference. I couldn't balance that out. And you told that to me so many times. Well, guess what?
Oh, thank you, Joe. And speaking of readings, I do have a private session that I have to get ready for. So,
yes.
We
were a little behind.
Yeah.
Let me flash these comments real quick. And then, guys, thank you so much. And again, Lisa, if someone wants to get a hold of you, where do they find you?
They can hit me up on my website or through my website via email or phone or text. Thank you so much for having me on. miss your face, Shannon. And Jennifer, I really hope to get to know you more, and I can't wait to see you in Colorado.
I will head up that way.
Yeah,
Nope.
you're going to show up one day, and I'm going to be super excited.
I'm going to be super excited to get there.
Lisa, stay on after the show, and we'll talk. I'll go ahead and book my flight and get it squared away. So, all right,
Okay.
guys, thank you for joining in very, very much. It's very appreciated. Sorry we had a little confusion in the beginning, and we can't wait to see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me get the little thing going here.